Yeah, and just say welcome everyone and happy solstice to everybody and happy super new moon, the last big moon, new moon that we're having this year. So, whew, there's been some shifts, there's been some really cool stuff going on. And I'm finding, I'm loving working with people this week because in moving all of this stuff, it's like the field is so strong, being able to kind of see these bigger versions of things that people are able to expand in their minds. We always want to think of, you know, frequencies and life kind of on a little bit of a scale. I always pull out my pen or my, this stick that we have of sort of where we can be sitting, whether we're kind of in the middle at acceptance, if this was like a frequency scale, where down here was fear and frustration and anger and grief and loss and all these sort of lower vibrational energies. And then in the middle, we kind of have our acceptance where we sort of move up and into the middle. And then we can kind of move up a little further into the good stuff where we have all the joy and the acceptance or the appreciation and gratitude and all those sort of higher frequencies anywhere over 350, 400. And we can actually really move these frequencies according to our thoughts, are the way we feel and how we hold on to these thoughts for just a certain amount of time to create more in working with the laws of the universe. I'm just cupping and inhaling some of my black spruce oil because it actually has a frequency on its own that's like 555, and it just sort of brings you right up into that love
Ooh,
and that good vibration,
I
that
like
tingles. Yeah, so cool.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
I've been
absolutely.
I've been using your oil too. Um, Something for my breathing because it's called Breathe.
Breathe. Yep. Just
Yeah,
open up the lungs.
it's really helping me a lot.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's kind of like Vicks in a bottle. It's got all
Yes.
the oils that actually make all that work. So it's I actually went and delivered a whole bunch of that stuff today. Some drops and some rub, and so many people are sick right now. So it just, yeah,
Yes.
makes such a big difference. So yeah, so getting grounded, kind of getting grounded in how we feel, how we are wanting to feel. And these last 6 months have been really huge in that we've had, I always call it a planet, but it's actually more of an asteroid called Chiron that's been in retrograde. And so it's been sort of bringing up a lot of past things. And in this last week, especially, people have been finding that those things that we no longer want to carry forward with us are finally kind of coming up and showing themselves in ways. Some people are feeling like it's in lessons. Some people are feeling like it's actually it's like a really strong message where it actually happens physically. um I've been having situations where my third eye has been itchy, and I've actually been kind of like rubbing it all day. My husband actually almost he slipped in the shower, and actually it was funny. I feel really bad, but he was in this like kind of foul mood this morning, and he slipped and he managed to whack his head right on his third eye, and he has this like gash right across here, and he looks at me and he goes, what does that mean? Like, I think your third eye needed a little bit of a knocking to just kind of open it up. It's like people's third eyes are, everyone I've done meditations with today and yesterday were just like, it's like they felt their third eye actually opening. So the third eye is definitely, it's going to come to different people in different ways depending on the frequency you're on. But we could very well, fall flat on our face and kind of get smacked in the face with something that clearly, if it's really ready to shift, right? Because it's a choice. And so for some, it's been really interesting lessons. Things like at work, you're ready to kind of shift out of a job. You kind of know there's something different out there for you for this next year. Maybe these last 6 months have kind of shown you things where it's actually going to be easier. It's not such a, we're not letting our past patterns design our future. We're letting our soul's purpose and our soul's journey design our future instead. And so some of these things that have been going on at work, or some of these people that you're just kind of not resonating with, that may have actually kept you back, you may have wanted to stay working with them because you have these relationships. It's all just kind of becoming easier, even relationships with friends, with partners, with people that it's like, no, you know what, this just doesn't really work for me anymore. And it's not the pain and the agony of actually letting it go. It's like this ease and flow with being able to let things go. So it's a matter of actually staying in that path of least resistance, in that ease and flow, instead of staying in the pain and learning from the pain and having to sort of repeat the pain every day. This energy is all about, now that Chiron's actually going direct again, is not all about bringing up the past and the pains and the things that we used to always do. And it's allowing us to kind of push forward. And it's really neat because there's 4 planets. We have the sun, the moon, Mercury, I believe Venus and Pluto. They're all in this stellium, where in Capricorn, where it's like whoosh, all of a sudden they just kind of rush in, and they're all in this same stellium. So it's giving us this huge energy of groundedness and stability, where things have felt sort of unstable for a lot of people over the last 6 months, especially people that have been going through this ascension process. And I just want to have us sort of give ourselves credit for a moment to be in this state right now. I mean, we're here to do a meditation, to be able to connect to source energy, to be able to connect to our soul's purpose, to our soul's journey. The fact that we're even here right now shows that we're on a path of ascension, shows that we are directly in tune with what's going on right now planetarily. So these last 6 months have been sort of dredging up the past, kind of showing us, and it's dredging up because these things need to be seen, because a lot of these things are what has been sort of holding us back. So when they're coming up, when it's the struggles, when it's the pain that we're feeling, whether it be physical, um, mental, spiritual, emotional, whatever that pain is, it's time for us to really allow the light to be shone on some of these things, because as we let some of these things go, we make space for the things that have been trying to come in. And so I always refer back to Abraham Hicks, Esther Hicks. I love everything that they say, right? And step one is kind of creating what it is that you want, asking for it, right? What is it that I really want? And so I love just kind of getting up in the mornings when you're sort of still in that neutral state and actually asking, the superconscious field, the ascended masters, God, whoever it is that you speak to, whoever you feel connected to, asking source to sort of show you all the ways that this day can be the most beautiful day, that you can have that anticipation and that excitement of getting out of bed and seeing what will happen, instead of kind of being on the fence and seeing what will happen, depending on where your pen is shifted, right? Where depending on where your stick is. So if we're not so sure, if we don't have that clear, oh, how can this day just be the absolute best ever? We're going to kind of stay in that neutral zone, and it's very easy to sort of get wobbly. And if there's any wobbles lately, that's what's been kind of coming up as that resistance, or that sticky feeling, or that yucky feeling, or even sometimes those big emotions that have been coming up lately. I know I even had a good cry this morning just because I actually fell flat on my face yesterday and hurt myself. And I thought, right away, being hurt, it was my shoulder that I hurt, and it had been, a long journey of actually finally starting to feel better. And I thought, oh my gosh, this is how I spend solstice, is it's like a smack in the face, falling flat on my face. And what I realized is I was on my way to go do a massage, and then I had another massage today. And massage is the thing I'm trying to kind of let go, and I keep on saying I can't, I don't have time to do it anymore because I want to do the coaching, I want to do this more full time. But it's like this thing from my past that I just can't let go. Like I love it, right? Like I love doing it, but my body just doesn't allow it anymore. And so I can do this instead. And I know I have this, but that I can always have appointments and always sort of trade time for money. And that was kind of what I always sort of did as a job. And then so if I'm worried about money or scarcity, that's where I have to go. And it's not my true soul's purpose anymore. Everything in the universe for over 3 years has been telling me that this is not what is in alignment with, it's just not where I'm supposed to be. And so, but I hang on to it tooth and nail, right? I love it so much. I can't let it go. So I really have to set up boundaries around this. And I know when I have my 1 day a week at my clinic, when I stick to that, everything goes really well. I do my one appointment, but lately I've been doing two. Lately I've just been pushing it. I really, it's like this drug for me, being able to work, and this workaholism is kind of those habits that I need to be able to break. And so literally like did the ultimate swan dive in the grocery store parking lot. It was not graceful. And this is why I kind of giggled at my husband smacking his head this morning, because we both just like literally face plants. Like it's definitely some serious things telling us that we're on the right path. We're not supposed to be kind of letting the past drag us away again. But it's so easy to. It's just that if we don't sort of listen and kind of pay attention and go with what we know is on our soul's journey, we wind up on like for me anyways, it's on a physical level that it will actually stop me, and I almost have to kind of stop and laugh and just go, okay, universe, I got it. And I went into victim mode. I was upset. This where I was in so much pain. I was like, I haven't had to take painkillers for like a couple years now. I didn't want to go back to that. I didn't want to go through insurance like again, being out, just, and then I just kind of went, what am I doing? I know more than this. And I got in tune with myself, and I went, okay, tested for bone, tested for muscle, tested for ligament. So I know I've torn muscles in my rotator cuff, but it's not the same muscles that I've torn before. So I'm like, I can recover from this. And I shifted it right away from being total victim, like crying, not even being able to function. I was like, I could have gone to a really, really dark place being in that much pain. But um it is, it's a really good question. If I really love it, it's calling me, it's a good reason to do it, except for um it's it's not good for me it's good for me physically, but only to do so much. And that's where I wane. I know, and in my head when I go into it, yes, I know I can do one a week, and then I recover perfectly. I have enough energy, and physically I can do everything else I need to do. I'm not in pain, so I can sleep. It's like everything in flow, but I always push it past that point and think, oh, I can do more. Oh, I can do more. Oh, I can do more. And that's kind of the pattern more so than, and with the workaholism more so than anything, if that makes sense. So these patterns, you're so sweet. These patterns are showing us very, very strongly for some. For some others, it's been enlightening in that they're able to actually kind of dream a little bigger this week. They're able to kind of, it's almost like we've been sort of climbing this mountain, and we're almost at the top of this mountain where we can really see clearly all of these beautiful paths that are sort of set out for us. Because this new year that we're going into, it turns into from a 6 year to a 7 year. 7 years sort of about the abundance, the flow, the receiving. So step two, as Esther Hicks says, is the receiving. And that's the mode we're going to get into tonight. That's the meditation that I'm going to bring us through, is actually getting into receiving mode, allowing some of that old stuff to kind of wash away, allowing us to actually accept what we have been asking for in every way possible, and to actually dream really big. To We're gonna just, almost imagine it. We're gonna have a lot of fun and play, just like a movie playing, watching a character open Christmas presents, and just like having that excitement of all the things that we could possibly imagine. When we're growing up, we're always taught you have to do this or that, or go to university, or pick a career like this. And it's, in reality, there's these things that we've been dreaming of, parts of us. I love, this week I've heard a lot, oh, a part of me always wanted to do this, or a part of me always kind of wanted to do that. And I feel like this evening is going to be an opportunity to actually open up these gifts of those parts of us that have always wanted to do certain things and allow some of those thoughts to come back into our field that we've just always kind of really wanted to do. Things and thoughts that will allow us to even dream bigger. Imagine being able to have, say a healing center that people could just kind of come to, that your family could work at. Like I picture my kids, my husband actually had this vision the other day too, of our kids, being there. It doesn't have to be somewhere we live all together, but maybe it is. And maybe they could actually do something that they really loved with their lives. Maybe one of them could be fixing cars with him. Maybe one of them could be running the kitchen. Maybe one of them could be, writing recipes or have an online cooking short. Like, who knows, right? The things that people can do now, they're so unlimited. And the things that we can do are so unlimited. There's little courses that we can sell that we can easily teach, or if we don't feel like being out in online or it live, maybe there's um, times where you can actually share whatever kind of knowledge that it is that you have and these gifts that you have. Oh, that's so cool, Samara. I love that. Going on a horse healing journey. Horses have these, like, I know I've told you guys this before, but these massive heart chakras that are just like 3 times the size of ours. And they're just, even being in their presence is so healing. So, an actual horse healing journey. Like, why couldn't we have a horse healing, sort of a place that people could come to, or being able to even just sort of travel around. I mean, we can do whatever it is that we want, but we always kind of put these limitations and these caps on us to just kind of see what will happen. And so my message going into this new year is actually see where this can go. See these things that can happen. Allow yourself to actually open up and dream a little bit into even the next 6 months, just of maybe one thing that you could do that would be following your soul's journey in a way. And we don't need to know how we're going to get there. We don't even need to know what it is. And it doesn't have to be something we can make money from. It doesn't have to be something that affects other people. But if it affects our own vibration, this is exactly how we raise the stick, the vibration stick, and get into that appreciation. Because a lot of people ask me, so how do you get from this to this, right? And it doesn't have to be feeling love for someone or about something in particular. It can literally be by shifting your frequency into doing something that you really love. Something like gardening, something like roller skating, something like going for a walk in the woods, something like playing with fuzzy puppies, whatever it might be. It's just an opportunity to actually raise your own vibration, get super general with it. It doesn't have to be very specific. How is it that you want to feel? What makes you feel like that, right? Is there a game that you play? Is there a person that you're around? Is there giving or receiving, whatever it is it baking and sharing it with people? Is it making beautiful pottery and being able to share it? Is it painting beautiful pictures and giving it to someone because it'll brighten their day, because every time they walk past it they'll think of you and feel the love that you had giving it to them. So things that you really enjoy doing. There's a lot of people that are I want to say stifled in a way, where they end up feeling very depressed, where they end up feeling as though life isn't worth living. And there's so many ways that we can get around that by just sort of feeling into those things that make us happy, feeling into those frequencies and those emotions that we do really want to feel, can produce the chemicals instead of having to, say, medicate. When we look at a lot of people that do have things like, serious depression, things like this, it's when we really think about it on a chemical level, the emotions, the things that they've been running through, if they're working in a job that feels like it's sucking their soul out all the time, if they're really getting up in the morning and feeling as though they're going and doing something that just doesn't feed their soul at all, they don't get those chemicals that will actually help produce more of those chemicals in the brain. So the laws of the universe are sort of a lot like the laws of the body. It needs these certain chemicals. It needs these certain neural pathways to be able to actually function the way they need to function. and produce the chemicals that they need to produce to be able to actually really move forward and to really enjoy life. You know, even if you're not moving forward, if you're not feeling stuck, you can still enjoy life by just kind of being happy. It doesn't always have to be about super motivation. It's more about actually having something that you want to really get out of bed for, something that kind of excites you and lights you up. So we're going to explore some of that today. Being in this new moon, it's all about manifesting what it is that we want over the next 2 weeks of the moon cycle. But this is really big because it's solstice, because it's a super new moon, because it's actually shifting from numerologically, it's shifting planetarily. There's all these things that are really, really big and profound going on right now. And for a lot of people, they've actually been feeling um, this wringing out of that negative energy. And so there's been a lot of people having, like, this last couple nights, especially very restless sleeps. Like, it's hard to actually get a really good sleep. They've been restless. They've been having crazy dreams because there's a super huge meteor shower that's been going on in the Little Dipper. There's all sorts of stuff happening. It's like this squeeze on the earth. And the other thing that I've been noticing is, I mean, because we live in this northern hemisphere, there's been a lot of people being sick. But one of my girlfriends, who's a medium and really, really powerful healer, she taps into the earth grids and does some of the gridding herself. Like, it's pretty wild. She's quite an amazing woman. She was actually describing it in her session last night, that, sorry, my body's releasing just talking about this right now, that if if people have been feeling sick, which a lot of people have lately, that it's kind of like this wringing out purge of things that aren't going to be resonating with our this whole ascension process that happened just after all of these eclipses and things. It kind of pushed a lot of the negativity out, pushed a lot of the old stuff out. So DNA wise, this is actually, this time right now is bringing up a lot of past lives for people. So it's not even so much like our stuff that we're carrying, that we're sort of letting go of right now. There's been a lot of past life, not regression, but past life releasing, past life healing, trauma healing from stuff that's really not even ours, generational. But past lives has come in a lot. And I don't talk a lot about past lives, but this is the time where this has been truly coming up, especially I've even noticed it in the sessions I've been in. Like, if I didn't see it and didn't do this stuff, I wouldn't even believe it. But it's like I'm right there with them in their past lives, seeing exactly what it is. Where I'm saying it like this was 3 generations, like this was like 3 generations ago for family history, or this was like a past life, and we can both see the exact same image in our head. Like, it's wild. It's been very, very strong. So there's a lot of actual healing going on, and this healing happens in the light of the new moon, where we're actually allowing, this is how healing happens, is it we're allowing that light to be shed on it. We're allowing these shadows to sort of come out from hiding. And if we didn't allow them, if we didn't know what they were, if it was just old stuff that, I mean, how do you know what your past lives are, right? There's no way to really know. We don't know exactly, except for, in the field, they're exactly the same, which is really cool. But no, we're not always going to know what it is that we need to let go of. There's just stuff that we don't even necessarily need to bring up again, need to even think about again, but some of it will sprinkle through. It's being wrung out by being sick. It's actually like the body purging. So if you're sick now, it's a good thing because it actually is showing that things needed to kind of release, and this is an actual DNA cleansing, kind of like you plug in your phone for the iOS upgrade, and it all comes through, and you wind up having the new operating system. Once you've actually had a good sleep and wake up the next morning, your new operating system can kind of take over. So we will go into a meditation right away where we actually allow this to happen, and we'll get the crystal grid upgrades from the earth going into our bodies. I'm already in the field here. So it's time to open up to the new. It's time to allow the new in. It's time to expand and ascend. This ascension that's been happening is on a collective level. This is not just our little group. This is just, it is happening on a collective level. The Schumann frequency is moving, the Earth's frequency is moving, the Earth's actual measured frequency has been raising. And so on a collective level, we're feeling this and we're seeing it in some who are just finding their voices, who are just, going forward with things, who are, turning new leaves, changing. And then there's others who you see that are very remotely ruminating in some of the stuff still. And that is where the wobble is going to be apparent. And I was talking the other day about the wobble, and me falling was one of the reasons that I ended up really speaking about that. As I was so wobbly, I was physically off. I literally lost my balance on the ice and just couldn't regain. And it was like, okay, so there was still a wobble. Not that absolutely everything that happens in the physical is a smack in the face because you are on the wrong vibration. It's just apparent where the wobbles are. And for me, it just was really apparent in so many ways. But for some, you're not getting that physical notice. You're just feeling a little wobbly in one way or the other. And if it's not mental or emotional, the physical will actually kind of show that there is a bit of an energetic wobble. So I did talk about the actual energy balance, and I hadn't done it for a couple of days, so I started again, and feeling really good. Just doing the exercise where you do heaven and earth, where you're actually reaching up to the heavens, you're breathing in, reaching down, breathing out. You end up changing it around, start in the prayer position, just literally working with the energy field, just kind of recreating this homeostasis within that energetic bubble. So I feel like I've been talking and talking and talking. So many planetary things going on, so many big shifts. I just want to really embrace this energy and allow it to help tonight to just truly cleanse out anything else that has been sort of hanging on, whether it's been spiritual attacks, whether it's been past lives coming up, whether it's been old patterns just sort of showing themselves, whether it's been we're not sure what was swept under the rug, but we're ready to just kind of let it go so that we can absolutely blast into this new year. The biggest thing, I think, the biggest takeaway is that this energy is about now resting and receiving. We have been going and going and going. We've been pushing and pushing. And so now it's actually time to start paying attention to what it is that our bodies need, what it is that our souls need, what it is, those boundaries that we need to, even say like with work, putting up boundaries. We may still have to work, we may still have to be there. But when we really go inside and just spend a moment and just ask ourselves, I'll just throw you on mute, Lisa, so I don't, because if I'm, whoops,
Sorry.
if I, no, not at all. If I'm meditating, then you won't have to worry. Um, some of the patterns are just really, really ready to let go and to be healed. And so I'm going to do a little bit of energy work. I'm going to end up because I'm already feeling this big ball of light that I just want to share with you guys to just help really sort of cleanse, clean, and transmute anything sort of hiding out in those shadows, hiding in those places where we may have had to sweep them under the rug. That was one of our parents' favorite sort of things. Just, sweep it under the rug. You don't necessarily have to deal with it. So there's some stuff that is under there that we're probably ready to just really sort of freely move through and truly allow this healing to happen on this special solstice and this special new moon where the energy is so clean and pure. It's going to sort of aid us in healing a lot of this stuff right now. So it's just, I think it'll just feel really good. This is really about getting clear on what it is that these boundaries are, that we need to be able to keep our wobble from wobbling too much. And if we are going to wobble, that we can choose the side of the fence that we want to go on, where it's just a beautiful place of living in love and peace and freedom and calmness and groundedness. So I'll encourage you guys to just, because it's it's cold for a lot of us. We haven't been outside kind of grounding with nature, but to really notice what happens at this time of year. Everything sort of goes into hibernation, everything sort of goes into this state where it gets to kind of hunker down for the winter and really kind of get its bearings, get its roots so that it can come to true and full fruition. And by allowing ourselves to receive some of that energy, to be able to receive some of those messages that have been trying to come through for so long, it'll be a really great opportunity to just listen to what Source has to say to us and allow some of that healing to truly occur. So if you guys are ready, I'll just take us on a short guided meditation where we're going to go for a walk together. We're going to go for a walk in a beautiful, I feel like a woody, snowy, foresty path. So we're going to take a couple nice deep breaths, and when you're ready and comfortable, you can just close your eyes with me. I'd love it if you could just slow your breath down. Imagine that you're like a fawn in the woods, in these beautiful snowy woods, and that you're breathing very slow and almost silent. And imagine that you are going for a walk. You're nice and bundled up. You have these nice warm boots that have this beautiful furry lining and big thick soles, and you're all bundled up in this beautiful parka with maybe a big hood and collar around it that just keeps your whole face and head nice and warm. And if anybody has been out in a forest where it's been freshly snowed on and it's nighttime and there's barely any moonlight, but there's starlight, I want you to imagine that the snow on the ground that you can see is all sparkly. And as you take steps with your big boots, you can hear the snow just crunch, and you can feel it just crunch underneath your feet. And I want you to imagine being in these woods at maybe at dusk or just at night, where you can really start to see the sparkles come through in the snow. And when you're out in the woods in the winter like that, there's this sense of calmness. There's this sense of muted silence where it feels almost like there's earmuffs or something around your ears, where it's just this deadening silence. And I want you to just imagine this deadening silence with nothing but your foot print just crunching the snow and crunching the ice underneath your feet as you just walk through this path and listen to the sound that your feet are making in the snow. And as you slow your breath, I want you to just connect with your breath, feeling it into your belly as you breathe in. And as you breathe in, your belly just gets bigger and bigger. And as you breathe out, I want you to imagine relaxing your belly and relaxing all of your muscles all at the same time, relaxing every single muscle in your body. And just connecting with your breath, you can stop walking on the path on the snow and just listen to the absolute deadening silence. As you connect with the way your feet feel in your nice warm boots, and wiggling your toes and the balls of your feet and the middles of your feet and your heels, I want you to imagine them connecting with the earth. And right down through your boots, through the soles of your feet, I would love you to just imagine tiny little sprouts and roots starting to grow from down underneath your feet. It's almost tickling as these roots grow out of your feet and slowly start to emanate down into the ground. Imagine those little roots just sprouting and seeking out Mother Nature's beautiful crystalline energy as they go down into the earth, perhaps a foot, perhaps 2 feet. Imagine these little roots just starting to sprout from your feet, going all the way down into the earth. all the way down into the giant ball of white light in the middle of the earth, and tapping into Mother Gaia's energy and feeling almost like it connects, almost like a pulse or a pull, as the roots touch down into that beautiful globe, that light at the center of the earth, and start tapping into that energy. That energy has this white crystalline feel to it. And as the roots that are coming from your feet are starting to touch that light, those roots start absorbing her beautiful energy, and it starts to move up those roots towards your body, and you can almost feel it drawing up, almost like a pump that's priming this beautiful energy up through these roots and into your feet. Just imagine this light starting to infuse into every pore of your feet, every cell of your feet, starting to clean and clear and transmute every cell of your body as it makes them vibrate, as it starts to absorb this light. They start to get just a little bit excited, start to move up into the middle of the feet and up into the ankles, feeling it starting to prime up even further into the ankles. And like your calves are calling this light up, it's starting to prime all the way up into your calves, starting to clean, clear, transmute, and heal all of those cells in the calves, the muscles, the joints, the veins, the nerves, starting to regenerate, starting to upgrade, starting to download all the information into the area that it needs, pushing out any shadows, pushing out any pain, any physical pain, any emotional pain that's held in the legs, and moving that up to the knees and allowing these cells to start to vibrate faster and faster into the knees. Feel that light just starting to pulse up, starting to pump up and prime up the legs, circulating around in the thighs, moving through the vascular system, moving through all of the cells, infusing into every single cell as it starts to enter your pelvis and into your hips. Feel that light moving through your pelvic area, through all your reproductive organs, through all of those muscles, all of those smooth muscles, and into the colon. Imagine that light, those beautiful healing vibrational crystals starting to infuse into every cell in your colon and in your root chakra, cleaning, clearing, transmuting, sweeping through, moving fast enough that it's almost like it's scrubbing out pain, like it's scrubbing out sickness, like it's scrubbing out darkness, and allow that to just move up into the sacral plexus, all through the lower back, through the belly button, flowing, moving through the kidneys, the liver, all of the organs that are just sitting in your abdominal cavity. And notice your breath as you expand your belly as big as you can. As you breathe in and as you breathe out, just let that whole area relax. Let your body relax, let your pelvis relax if those muscles have tightened. Just allowing that light to move up into your solar plexus, right above the belly button, right under the rib cage where all our hopes, desires, wishes, boundaries, everything is all hiding out in there. The pancreas, the stomach, the esophagus, allowing everything to be recoded and decoded by this beautiful energy, starting to move faster and faster through your cells, crystallizing, cleaning, clearing, vibrating at the level that it needs to shake out any sickness, any illness, any DNA that needs repairing, allowing that light to just continue moving up into the heart chakra, feeling your rib cage start to expand with light, with love. As that energy moves up into your heart, it's like you can feel it almost get excited. You can feel a little bit of a flutter. You can almost connect with your heartbeat, feeling that energy start to vibrate around there, moving through your breastbone, the breast tissue, the lungs, the ribs, every single cell in between the rib cage, just allowing these tiny little crystals to just vibrate fast enough that they can shake out anything that doesn't need to be there anymore. Any old patterns, anytime our breath was taken away, anytime our heart was hurt, anytime our heart was in trauma, allowing those beautiful crystals to start moving through there right now, releasing the heart walls that have come around there, simply caressing every cell around the heart, allowing it to feel safe and soft, and having that energy move all the way up into the shoulders and through the shoulders, through the joints, through the muscles. Imagine that light moving down into the upper arms and the elbows, flowing almost like liquid plasma now. It's just moving faster and faster through your body, going down to every single wrist bone, all the nerves in the hands and the wrists and each and every little finger. This light is getting bigger and brighter, and it's almost starting to crystallize into this bluish color, starting to take on these new colors. It's getting more excitable, and it's moving faster through your body as it's seeking out anything else to start moving, scrubbing, cleaning, clearing as it moves up into your throat chakra. Allow this light to just encompass and envelop every cell in your throat, in and around the jaw, in and around the neck, moving through, reducing all pain and tension in there, just allowing that light to move through every single cell in your neck muscle, feeling it across the back of the head as it expands every cell, as it allows the brain stem to open up a little bit, allows that blood to flow back into the head, allows the nerves to wake up, allows those muscles to relax. Just imagine your neck elongating, your shoulders relaxing from your ears. And bringing that light up in and around the ears, through the teeth, through the face, through every single cell, in and around your nose and your eyes, imagining that light moving through. And as that light moves through, you can feel it start to move through the eyes, almost like it's moving your eyeballs, like it's just cleaning and clearing all of that clouded vision and allowing your eyes to finally see the truths that they're ready to see, the truths that they've been trying to be shown, as this energy moves up and starts to light up into the third eye. Feeling that pressure in the middle of the forehead, right between the eyes, as the heaviness starts to lift and this bright blue light starts to move through your whole scalp, your brain, kissing and caressing every cell of your brain, crystallizing, cleaning, clearing, and transmuting anything in the forebrain, the midbrain, the hindbrain that's ready to let go, to create space for the joy, for the abundance, for the happiness, for the peace and tranquility, and just allowing that energy to move all the way up to the head, very top of the crown. Imagine those bones in the skull and the very top of your head expanding, allowing all that cerebrospinal fluid to start moving through those little sutures, to move through every part of the head that needs it. And as you do this, you start to feel the top of your head tingle a little bit, almost as though it's opening up to the universe. It's opening up to source energy. It's like a direct connection, and I want you to imagine this light expanding out the top of your head, expanding up into source energy and just feeling connected. And I'm going to bring you back to this forest where you're standing in this utter silence, in this blanket of serenity. It almost feels like heaven on earth. It's not too cold, it's just crisp enough. And you notice that you feel something fall onto your nose very gently, like a gentle kiss from above. And in your mind's eye, I want you to imagine seeing beautiful snowflakes starting to fall from the sky. Beautiful crystal snowflakes, almost as though you can see each one and see each little branch of it and see the sacred geometry that lies within each of those snowflakes. And perhaps taking your hood down and allowing your whole head to start feeling these gentle, beautiful, light, geometrical snowflakes start to come down and kiss the top of your head. And as they do, your body starts to absorb them. These are beautiful gifts from above that are coming down to cleanse, clean, and clear your body, mind, and spirit in every way for the truest and goodest nature and purpose, soul's journey, to be shown to us. Allowing these snowflakes to simply take away any more darkness in the body, to literally be absorbed into the top of the head, and watch as they go like little super scrubbers down to a particular area that's calling for it right now. Any area of the body where there may be physical pain, where there may be an emotion trapped, we're just going to allow these snowflakes to come through the top of our aura, the top of our crown, and be transmuted into any area of our body that needs that extra energy right now to help and clean and clear it. These snowflakes can actually reach into some of the traumas that have happened in our past. They can clean away any pain. They can clean away any hardwired emotions, any hardwired patterns, and start to download new programs. The ones that we're meant to be running on, not the ones that we chose at one time that aren't working anymore. As these snowflakes fall down on our head and through our body, just allow that to emanate through for a moment. Just allow your body to be calling out to any energy that it needs, showing you exactly where those snowflakes need to go. Allowing that sacred geometry to enter down through your crown and directly to the area of the body. And feeling on the left side and between the head and the neck and the shoulder blade, right sort of on the top of the neck, top of the shoulder, down into the shoulder blade, healing around the heart. And I'm just sending some healing white, blue energy directly into your heart right now. Coming around from the back of your body, just as though my hands were placed on the top of your back between the shoulder blades. Just imagining that energy coming through right now. Sending that healing light through the heart as you feel it almost come all the way through the back and out the front like a bit of a whoosh. Taking some of that heaviness off of the heart. And allowing yourself to just enjoy this beautiful feeling of these snowflakes falling. Perhaps you want to catch them on your tongue. You want to have as many of these snowflakes getting inside of your body as you can. It doesn't make you cold, it doesn't make you wet, it's absorbed by every single pore. And they just keep coming and just keep healing like a washing over. Just imagine those snowflakes coming as big or as fluffy as you can imagine. And imagining now in this forest that you're hearing little footsteps, you're hearing little footprints, like something's walking, but you're not sure what. So you have a bit of a look around. And off in the distance, you see the majestic white elk, the shamanic symbol for healing, for shifting, for protection. And you feel yourself being drawn towards him as he's being drawn towards you. There's no one in this forest except for you and him. And take a look around to see if there's maybe some other spirit animals that have come along with him to greet you, to show you the way to the magic Christmas tree. And as he turns his head slightly, you notice where he's looking, and off in the distance, just a little, you can see a beautiful Christmas tree with these most beautiful gifts underneath them. And as you're feeling cleansed and cleaned, you walk towards this tree with the elk right beside you, protecting you, showing you the way. I see eagles coming in, seeing some other small spirit animals starting to get excited that you found your way to this amazing Christmas tree. And I want you to just go towards it. And as you do, it's like you're watching a movie, like you're watching a Hallmark movie of this child that just found its soul purpose. Like a child that's just found this tree, this beautiful tree full of all the gifts and the excitement and the anticipation. You don't ever have to been in this position. You don't ever have to been a child with this excitement, but for a lot of us, you have. Tap into those feelings of excitement, of anticipation, of knowing that there are things under the tree for you to receive. There's gifts. In fact, these gifts have always been here under this tree. It's been waiting. It's been this divine timing that you can finally go and see what's under the tree. If you had unwrapped it before, it wouldn't have made sense. It wouldn't have been right timing, but now is the time. So start imagining you're watching this movie of this person with this elk, however they may look, and have them just dive to the tree, sliding on their knees, ready to just start tearing open these beautiful gifts that are wrapped so precisely that you know they are for you. And I want you to just choose one. Just choose the first shiny package that you're ready to open. And as you start to open it, you start to know that inside is going to be a gift of a memory of one of the parts of you that always wanted to just do something. And I want you to imagine unwrapping this gift. If you're tearing it open, if you're carefully undoing the ribbon, if you've been waiting so long for this, or if you already know what it is. Maybe you peeked. I want you to just imagine opening this gift right now. And as you look inside, you see this piece of a puzzle, this vision of something you just always wanted to do, something that a part of you always just enjoyed or maybe hasn't even tried yet. Just ask the superconscious field to just show you one of these images that a part of you always loved and enjoyed. You may not know what it means. It may not be anything crazy or special. It may just be something that you love. And I want you to take this piece out of the box and put it behind you in the little clearing that's there from where you slid. And you can just place that little puzzle piece there. You have a feeling there's more. As you look under the tree, there's so many more gifts. I want you to keep opening these gifts. I want you to imagine one by one, taking these boxes, opening them up to the things that you have always been shown that you can receive, to the things that have always been tried to be given to you. Perhaps it's love. Perhaps this next package, this next gift is truly that piece of your heart that you can take back with forgiveness, where you can actually allow yourself to receive love again. Perhaps it's just that little part of your heart that went away for a little while. It's been there in this gift box. Imagine taking that piece out and putting it next to the other one. It fits perfectly. All of these things, all of these pieces are starting to fit perfectly together, like they were a puzzle that was just meant to be opened and put together by you. And imagine the next present. Perhaps this is a piece of your soul where you felt like you'd never be the same again. This little piece has just been in this box doing its healing, and it's ready to come back to you now and fit into the whole. And put that piece together with the rest of these pieces. Not needing to know how that end puzzle looks, but having the excitement and the anticipation of going back for more. What else is in those boxes that's been put away? Perhaps it's some emotions that were packed down. Perhaps it's some feelings. Keep on unwrapping these presents and notice that there's a really big one underneath this beautiful Christmas tree. And notice this Christmas tree. It's like the best smelling tree you ever smelled. That fir is so strong. It's like you can taste it when you're smelling it. The feel of the wood on the trunk. Noticing the little acorns that are on it. Noticing the little parts in between the fir needles. Is it sticky? Does it smell? Just absorb the beauty of that tree. Does it have decorations, or is it just a tree that's got glitter on it, like it's lit up for you? Draw this tree out in your mind in this movie like you're watching it happen. And go for that really big present in the back, the one that has your name on it that's just been waiting. Go to that present now. And as you start unwrapping it, I want you to notice that it's a big puzzle board that's just got everything ready and waiting for it. All the missing pieces are on this puzzle board already. And you can take these pieces that you opened just now, and you're going to place it on this puzzle board. And I want you to just imagine putting these pieces together, noticing if there's any more missing. Go back under the tree. There's probably another piece waiting for you, maybe another part. Maybe another part of you that always wanted to do something else. Maybe a part of you always enjoyed being around seniors. Maybe a part of you enjoys being around kids. Maybe a part of you enjoys something in particular. These little pieces are going to put this whole big puzzle board together. And I want you to imagine now opening this big puzzle board, putting it down, and just rearranging your puzzle pieces, putting them all together. Perhaps there's some extra pieces that can go back into the healing box and just be placed under the tree to be returned to Mother Earth. And notice as it comes together that there's a scene. There's a scene of your true soul's journey, of the things that have always lit you up, of something bigger than you ever could have imagined, a scene from a movie, and just let the superconscious play. Just imagine a movie, may even be a cheesy movie, but what's the best and highest version, the highest timeline of you, the things that you know you're truly capable of. Dream so big right now. Dream bigger than you've ever dreamed before. Look at your beautiful big puzzle board and notice the things in your health, in your vitality, your healthy body, the way you're feeling, the way you're moving, maybe even the things you have around you, some of the things that you've incorporated into your life now that you've been able to let go of some other things. What are you doing for yourself this next year that you know you needed to do that you haven't? Are you shutting things down earlier? Are you cueing into your sleep a bit better? Are you getting hormones balanced? Start really jumping into this puzzle. Jump into that movie like you're living in it. Imagine life 6 months from now. The way you really want to feel. The little things that you could do. Maybe just one thing that you could be doing that would really be bringing you towards this future you. This grounded, balanced, peaceful, abundant, happy, joyous, loving, kind you. Feeling that energy, letting it grow even bigger. How could that be rippling out into the universe, into the collective? How many people is it affecting just by you being grounded and healthy and balanced and feeling love? This is the year to follow your soul's path, to allow the human body and the human mind to step aside for the true soul's journey, the soul's journey that you are meant to be here for, ascending in every way. And I want you to take this puzzle, and I want you to this big puzzle board, and I want you to imagine folding it up and folding it up and folding it up so that it actually fits into the palms of your hand. And I want you to take that puzzle, that beautiful puzzle board that you just folded up, and I want you to bring it into your heart. I want you to just imagine, even physically with your hands, bringing your hands over your heart, allowing that to become a part of your DNA, your body, mind, and soul, allowing it all to come together. And imagine feeling that excitement of living these days, these weeks, these months coming forward with the anticipation of a child opening a present like that every single day. Asking the superconscious to just show you all the ways that you can live your true soul's journey, and allowing yourself to have fun with it, getting big. And go back into your forest, just being there, absorbing the tree smell, absorbing the snowflakes, absorbing the light energy, and connecting with your breath, moving that energy, drawing that rest of the energy up from those roots in your feet and your boots, allowing that energy to resonate through your whole body, cleaning, clearing, and transmuting anything else in the body, mind, and soul that needs to be shifted today. Allowing any of those past lives, past traumas to simply be healed in the field, having the light of the stars shone on it. Imagine with each meteor that's popping out through the Little Dipper and the Big Dipper, lighting up any more darkness that needs to be seen, needs to be healed, transmuted, and unswept. Allowing those snowflakes to continue healing through the body in any place they need, sending them down to just scrub out any pain, any discomfort, creating only love and lightness in the body. And when you're ready, you can just wiggle a toe, you can wiggle a finger, staying grounded, allowing that energy to just keep cleansing and healing through the body. And coming back to your body. I feel like that elk is representative of this protective spirit that's just kind of around us all the time. It's almost like a solstice symbol. And so whenever you're needing a little bit of extra strength or guidance or protection, you can actually imagine this elk being beside you over this whole season, just guiding you, showing you the way if you're not sure where to go. You can look at him to where he's nodding, where he's showing you. And just slowly connecting with your breath and allowing yourself to come back. I'm feeling no pain in my body right now where things were moving around before. It's a little bit of low back stuff, so I'm just going to keep sending a little bit of healing energy just as everybody comes back. And imagine keeping that elk beside you over the next little while as you remember your true soul's journey, as you allow these intuitive moments to really speak to you when you have these little inklings. Oh boy, I'd really just like to do that, or I really don't want to do that. I should really call this person. I really don't want to call this person. Listening to your intuition, using it as your guidance, trusting yourself, and allowing yourself to really receive whatever it is that's coming to you. If someone tries to give you something, take it with grace and gratitude. Over this season, think of how much you really love giving gifts to people. I love that you're on here, Lisa Marie, because you've always given the most beautiful, heartfelt gifts, the things that you always had this real knack of making something for someone, not even pottery. I remember you making me a mirror that was beaded and beautiful with my initials on it, and just these beautiful gifts that just sort of stay with you and resonate. Even making something someone, it's just such a beautiful gift, and it's such a beautiful way to give and receive. I always wished that I could, you remember that too, I always wish that I could give as much as you, and from the heart, because it's always in my thoughts, but the execution doesn't always happen. It's something I've always admired that about you. It's such a thoughtful thing that you've always done for people. Oh, how was that for you guys? How are you doing? Thank you for making it. I'm so glad that you guys all made it tonight. I felt like a lot of that, the snowflakes coming in was something that I didn't expect, but as they did, I could feel them just literally going like little heat-seeking missiles, going to just kind of scrub out and heal some pain. And there was some stuff in the low back and some stuff moving through, and it was really neat how that just kind of transposed. I love the energy of the snowflakes, just because they're Snowflakes really are sacred geometry when you think about it. When you look at them, especially under a microscope, they have these beautiful crystals that are just absolutely incredible and unique. And they all have, I feel like, this magical power. They just sort of went in and did some scrubbing. So that felt very gentle and calm. I feel things just releasing still. So that might just be something that, pardon me, you guys find as well. So if you can tonight, do a little bit of cleansing, do a little bit of clearing. If you smudge, you can absolutely do that. You can do a bit of a new moon ritual where you actually do a little bit of journaling now, where you write a few things down that you would really sort of like to create or like to do in the next 6 months or so. Even if it's just grounding yourself on a daily basis, even if it's just starting to really care for yourself. This last 6 months was all about self-love and kind of learning the boundaries of and what self-love really means, and that our boundaries mean that we need things, and that it's not just always about everybody else. It's not just about, oh, I love myself so much, I'm so beautiful. It's actually getting up in the morning and loving yourself enough to treat yourself with the kindness and the care that you would treat other people with. And so that was, our big lessons. And now that we've been able to ascertain that a little bit, to retain some of those codes, we can actually really move forward with our true nature and purpose that we were meant to be here for. So I will let you guys go for the evening. If anybody wanted to share anything, you're more than welcome. I'm just going to stop the recording.